Spring is supposed to sound alive. The thaw, the soft return of birdsong, branches stretching back and forth toward the light. But there are nights, even in spring, when the air feels wrong. When the wind doesn't move like wind, it moves like something searching. When it's quiet, it isn't peaceful, it's waiting. In Ireland, they say that there is a sound that does not belong to any season. Not winter, not spring, and that sound comes from the land, but not from something tied to it. A cry, not of anger, not of fear, but of grief that has arrived too early. Passed down through generations, remembered in families, spoken of carefully. The presence known as the Banshee has never been treated as such a story, but as something witnessed, something heard, something that comes from when the boundary between life and death begins to thin. Tonight, we're stepping into that sound. Hey, y'all, this is Hauntmates, and that's my boo, Jeffrey.
And that's my boo, Mallory.
And today, we're going to be talking about the Banshee. And I like that it's going to be very more about the sound that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about all the things Banshee. But one is going to be, the most is going to be known as like the sound of the Banshee, the cry, what you hear, what you think. Because I don't know about you, but I actually didn't know anything about the Banshee other than the cry of the Banshee.
Okay.
Have you ever heard about the Banshee?
When I hear Banshee, I just think about the 1990s X-Men because there was a character in there called Banshee.
I am such a girl and you are such a boy. I'm like, what?
What?
The X-Men did what?
But it makes sense because he was always like this and sounds came off of him.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Or I may just be completely making this up.
Yeah. We'll see. So to understand the Banshee, the name comes from the Irish Banshee. So it's like being S-I, and it's like the woman of seed. So it's S-I-D-H-E. Think of the Banshee not in fairies in a modern sense, not like Tinkerbell.
Okay.
So this is definitely something that is ancient. It's land-bound being pretty much. And I'll get more to why I'm not saying tied to the land fully. It's just a little tied to because it's more tied to people.
Okay.
So I'll get to that. And it is connected to burial mounds, hills, and unseen worlds. So in the Irish tradition, the land remembers, the dead are not fully gone, and some presence move between. So the Banshee is understood as a woman of other worlds, not attached to a place alone, but to the families that reside there. But again, not every family. So in certain old Gaelic lineages, they're said to be carried to this connection. And when she comes, she does not take life, but she does not harm. She does announce her presence in more of a threshold moment when death is no longer distant, but right around the corner. And people can feel it. And how she appears is also another thing for her. So how she appears is accounts of her appearance are not identical. They do follow a pattern that people recognize.
Okay.
So she may appear as a young woman with long, pale, or silver hair. I feel like that'd be so pretty to see in an Irish spring foggy morning. Scary, but also terrifying.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine how beautiful that would look.
I could see that.
Through the foggy, and it's all really green and the flowers around her. I feel like it'd be pretty, but also maybe a little scary.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's the Banshee.
Oh no, it's a Banshee. Hopefully she doesn't cry and scream because there's something with that.
Yeah.
So she also may appear as a figure or a gray or a white cloak, or a woman seated weeping quietly. Some have even seen her as an old woman with worn with grief, eyes reddened. But across descriptions, she is never joyful, but she is also never aggressive. She is always grieving though. And her hair has often been described as loose, unbound, which in Irish tradition, this does make sense and associated with mourning or the connection to the other world. And her eyes are always consistently described as red, swollen, or even hollowed, almost as she has been crying for a very long time. And that kind of reminds me of Dracula of Tale, because I love Dracula and I gotta tie everything. But there are scenes where you can see how he has scars from where his tears have formed, because he's cried for 400 years for his love. Did you never notice that when we watched that?
No.
So do you understand why I'm like, oh my God, he yearned.
Yes.
Like he cried for 400 years.
Yeah.
So much that it scarred his face, the tears.
That's crazy.
So think of that like the Banshee.
Okay.
That is just her. She's always going to be mourning. It's always sad. It's always in that moment. So let's talk about the sound because that's what we both know about the Banshee.
Yes.
Because before searching that, this is all I really knew.
Yeah.
The most defining aspect is not her form because, again, she can take many forms, but it is the sound. And in Irish tradition, this sound aligns with Ning. It's a vocal mourning practice. The cry is described as a wail that rises and falls, layered sound with grief echoing through more than one voice, sounding human, but not entirely. It is not always loud. Sometimes it's more distant, carried on wind, barely there, but it is unmistakable. Other times it feels close. It could feel as close as outside your window, or if you're moving, like if you're about to be like kind of like you're moving through a hallway, the sound will kind of echo out throughout.
Yeah.
For those that do hear it, often say they don't just hear it, they feel it. Like a heaviness in the chest, a stillness in the body, and knowing that something has shifted. And I don't know about you, but have you ever heard a human like actually wail cry? Like a cry that like wails out of them?
Yes. I can't remember when, but I have definitely heard it.
Because I've heard it one time in my entire life, and I will never, it truly startled me.
Yeah.
It bothered me because, I mean, one moment this person was totally fine, and the next they get a call that somebody had passed away, and that like guttural response from their soul, just, it comes out, and it truly like startled and like kind of shook me to my core.
Yeah.
Like I could feel the sadness. So I can only imagine that on a greater scale.
Yeah.
If it's like an entity or so, or, if it's a spirit or the Banshee. There are roots in the Ning women. So historically, Ireland had been being Choinet Ning women. And oh my God, I hope I pronounced that right because I took 20 minutes literally just to understand it.
Yeah. And also, while you were trying to understand it,
Yeah.
I also Googled something just to make sure I wasn't making it up.
What?
About the Banshee in X-Men.
Yeah.
Well, here's a weird little tie-in.
What?
In X-Men First Class, the movie, that is the character. Can you tell who plays him?
Caleb Landry Jones, Dracula. Stop! It's all connected.
It is all connected, and we did not plan that at all.
That is hilarious. So pretty much our podcast should just be called Caleb Landry Jones fandom podcast.
If we can get him on here.
Could you imagine? Oh my gosh. We'd all just be awkwardly just like.
Yeah, we'd all just be like
three awkward Texans with each other. Like.
Yeah. Like, so do y'all just want to go get some barbecue?
Right. You want to go do this instead? Going back to the word I had the hardest time ever saying. Oh my God. And it took me forever. And every time I would listen to it, it would go to like a Best Buy ad. And I'm like, stop. I need to know how to say this word. So going back to the being Choinet, the Ning women, their role was to mourn the death through vocal lament, to guide the emotional and spiritual passage of death. Their cries were structured, it was emotional, and it was often described as otherworldly and intense. Over generations, the idea formed that this mourning could occur before death, not as performance, but as presence. The Banshee carries that same function. It is to mark the moment when death enters the threshold of a family. So very Midsommar.
Sounds very
Or
Midsommar.
Midsommar.
That weird A24 movie.
So good.
It's so good.
But remember when all the women, they were all like crying.
Yeah.
One girl was crying and all the women joined her and you thought it was really weird and like really creepy.
Yeah.
And they all were just grieving with her.
Yeah.
But to her, she felt connection.
Yeah.
Because she didn't have that connection anymore with her family. Oh, that really did remind me of that.
It does.
So the related traditions, there is a washer at Ford, and this reminded me of something that we've already kind of talked about on our podcast. In Scotland, there are figures known as the Ben Knight, where it's like Nighe, Ben Nye.
Ben Nye, yeah.
Ben Nye. Bill Nye, the science guy. Bill Nye, the science guy. Bill, 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 Bill. I'm not going to lie. If I can meet any person, dead or alive,
It would be Bill
not
Nye.
family member related, it would be Bill Nye, the science guy. Even though he's totally alive right now. I loved him. He always made me, as someone that like struggled with a learning disability in school, he always made me feel like smart.
Yeah.
And I always really appreciate that. I actually thought about if I ever met him recently and I started crying. Just girly things. And I was like, yeah, I probably cry on him like in person too. I love Bill Nye. So the washer at Ford, she is described as a woman washing blood-stained garments near water, the clothing belonging to someone soon to die. While distinct from the Banshee, the themes overlapped: mourning, preparation, inevitably. So these figures exist within several cultures' understandings that death does not arrive unannounced, and that some presents are tasked with acknowledgement. So does it sound familiar?
It kind of sounds like the yokai episode.
Oh, I was actually thinking it's the episode we covered, episode 19 about Sleepy Hollow, and how I talked about all the different headless horsemen throughout like their lore.
Yeah.
And they have a very similar one that started with Eowyn with the washerwoman. And he ended up cursing her, and she told like who would die.
That's right.
So I almost wonder if maybe what he encountered, could it have been the Banshee?
That's a really good theory.
Who knows?
You're on to something.
But it's very connected.
It is very connected.
It's very very similar.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I thought you were going to say what I thought.
I'll be honest with you. It is what I thought at first, but then I was like, wait, it's kind of similar to the yokai one where it was like she was down by the river. Remember?
Yes. Water.
Uh-huh.
Water is always significant too, I think, in this world.
Yeah.
And that's why the ring is so good, because there's so much water.
Yes.
There, again, remember how I mentioned the family connections?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that again a little bit more. In oral tradition, certain families were believed to have a banshee tied to them, not as ownership, but more of like a connection. So think of these families are more connected than other families. Kind of like how me and my family say we're more connected to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I even will say like I'm 50% connected to the other side, where I have certain family members that are like 100 to 75%.
Yeah.
Like way more connected than I am.
Yeah.
I just happen to talk about it.
Yeah.
I just love to talk about it. It's a podcast. The Banshee is passed through lineage, not always seen, but sometimes heard across generations. In these accounts, different family members across time report similar experiences: the same sound, the same presence, the same timing. This continually is a part of why the belief endured. It was not a single story, but repeated experiences. And these families don't even have to be in Ireland. It can be Irish descent in America, in Canada, and other parts of the world.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of love about it.
That's a really cool, how it's kind of like how it travels like that.
I would love to have a Banshee in my family and always know when it like, oh, the Banshee, I heard the Banshee wail, someone's going to pass away.
Yeah.
And it's not like, it's not to be feared. It's just like a warning.
Yeah.
Get ready. This will happen.
It's a warning of the imminent future.
Exactly. With the timing, the presence, the Banshee cry is understood as occurring when death is near, not necessarily intimate, but no longer distant. It's marked as a shift in the moment, a moment where something unseen has already begun. So the experience is often described as quiet before, sound, stillness after. So think of it kind of like a hurricane. There's before the storm, there's in the storm, then there's the eye of the storm where it's calmest.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like you're going through it. So it's kind of like similar in that. As if something passes through and left the air changed. Across Ireland, accounts found similar patterns: the night cry, where a family hears a wail outside, no visible source, the sound lingers, then fades. News of death follows shortly after. A cry heard near a home, curtains drawn back, nothing visible, the sound moves as if it's circling the home. There are generational memories, stories told by grandparents, then experienced by grandchildren. Same description, same emotional impact. These are not treated casually in Irish culture. They are spoken of with care, not exaggerations, and not dismissed. So the modern context of this today is that the language may change, but the experiences remain reported. Unexplained crying sounds, awarenesses of presence, emotional heaviness without clear cause, especially among those with Irish heritage, where they're understood as folklore, spiritual experience, or ancestral memory. The pattern holds a moment, a sound, and a loss that follows. The Banshee is not wildly described as harmful, but instead she is acknowledged, she mourns, she marks transition. She raises a question, is it a warning or is it a form of witnessing? A presence that endures, not death, not unannounced. No soul leaves without being grieved.
So basically, a banshee is just a warning.
Banshee is just a warning.
That is like a generational warning from someone inside your family.
Exactly.
That is not at all what I thought a banshee was.
I didn't either. I thought a banshee was something that would just wail cry like a siren.
Yeah.
And specifically the siren in The Lighthouse with Robert Eggers. You know that moment where she's like, that has that high pitch.
Yeah.
I almost imagine like that with like a high and maybe a low pitch, you know, like reverberating.
Yeah, like combined together.
Yeah. And you know, and just wailing and just, ah!
Can banshees fly?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a really good question.
Because like I said, I mean, as much as I thought about the banshee was like that it was a character from the X-Men. And he could fly.
So maybe the banshee could fly.
But maybe the banshee could fly, but also...
Well, it takes many forms.
Okay, well, that makes sense then.
Yeah,
it probably could fly. It probably has wings.
It probably can just... Maybe too, like, very ghostly-like, where it can just move around.
Okay.
It can flow very easily.
Gotcha.
But I always just thought a banshee was like, knock, knock on your wood, ah! And just...
Yeah.
Death.
Or
like, they kill you. I thought banshees killed, too.
Yeah, like knock on the door and they do the scream and your head pops.
Yeah, like, exactly. They cry and you bleed from like all your open holes and like through your eyes and your ears and your nose and they scream, you scream, and then you die.
Then you die.
But I love how it is in family. I want a fucking banshee. I'm so jealous. And I love how it is in within families.
That is cool.
I mean, I have Irish descent.
So do I think.
Do you?
I don't know. Let's look at Ancestry right now while we're on the podcast.
Oh, I canceled it.
I mean, I still see mine. Like, you can have a free one.
No, I have a free one, but I've canceled my actual membership of it.
Oh, so you can't even log in and see it now?
I mean, it's very generic showing.
Well, I mean, that's how mine's going to be.
Yeah. But I just know, too, from my mom's side that Odom is in our lineage. And two, I swear I have Irish curls as well. Because, like, only some of my hair, like, underneath will be curly, but up top it doesn't like curl as well.
Oh, okay.
When I naturally like will wear my hair, like if I let it air dry, it's like only a little bit will curl underneath and the top is straight. It just looks like weird.
Really? I've paid attention, but it's like I've never realized it like that till you said it now.
Well, yeah. And also I don't try to like have my hair air dry naturally.
Yeah.
Especially since we're recording and I'm trying to
stay on top of.
Yeah, I'm trying to be better about doing my hair. And also, too, there was one time I ended up falling asleep with wet hair. Oh, my God, y'all. I got a fucking ear infection.
I remember that.
It hurt so bad. And I don't know if it's because, like, I have little ears or if that is just a thing that happens. Oh, my God. All my hairdresser friends are going to be like, you what? You went to bed with your hair wet? What?
Why'd you do that?
I'm just struggling.
Struggling.
So spring will always keep returning. The birds will always sing again tomorrow. The trees will continue to bloom. Life will move forward. But somewhere in the quiet between those sounds, there are still things that listen, still things that remember, and sometimes before the world knows to grieve. Something else already has. Not loud, not seen, but heard. If you ever experienced something you couldn't explain, a sound, a presence, a moment that didn't feel like coincidence, we want to hear it. So send your stories to howdy@hauntmates.com or through the link through our Instagram bio. And if this episode found you tonight, follow us, subscribe, Leave us a rating so more listeners can find their way here. Until next time, stay spooky and stay haunted by Banshee, because how cool.